Welcome back. Leafs talk. JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. The new Leafs look like the old Leafs. It's a little different when you're not playing the Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames heading into the Olympic break, buddy.
And the no-hitter Edmonton Oilers
Yeah.
as your where everyone's trying not to get hurt. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was going to tell you, buddy. It feels like we never left. We're back.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think that like this break would have refreshed us and we'd be like, hey, you know what?
I'm way more tired. The Olympic hockey and the Olympic dialogue was 10 times harder than the Leafs dialogue. Like that took a year off my life with all the stuff talking about it and then what's ensued in the last 48 hours. You know, it's like, what a week, huh? Lemon, it's Wednesday. Like, I'm just, I'm
no, but I got to tell you, buddy, like I actually had a spin zone about an hour before this game. I was like, you know what? Like, it's good the Leafs are back and got something else to talk about other than Olympic fallout, right? Because I was hurting from Olympic fallout and I'm going to hurt for a long time from Olympic fallout. And so I went like, good, give me this distraction. Give me this hockey team. Let me just watch a game and feel normal. Like my whole life isn't on the line. And maybe 10 minutes into this game, I was like, I'll do anything not to watch. I'll do it.
There was 5 minutes left in this game, and I texted you. I'm like, God, the Raps got to box out.
Like, yeah. No box comment. Out. No comment on how much second screen Raptors got my attention as they did their thing. Leafs and Raptors just like Raps losing to every single team.
Yeah,
that's good and beating up on all the weaklings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Doing the exact same, except for, oh God. Anyway, let's get into this.
I will say we were talking about Olympic hockey, and I thought that tonight was a very eye-opening experience because we got to cheer for Canada at the Olympics, and now I know what it was like to cheer for France when they were playing Canada. So we now have both sides of the spectrum, and we know what the experience is like because we got to cheer for a team that didn't belong on the same pad as the other guys wearing blue and white. A lot of blue and white. But the ones with the white main colors did not belong on the same sheet of ice as the other guys.
It's funny because they ended the first period and there was a stretch there in the second where the Leafs were out shooting Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that is that they took 2 of Tampa's shots that went into the back of the net off the board. But I thought this is going to be the funniest game ever if the Leafs for the first time actually outshoot their opponent and end up getting viciously outplayed because that's the way I felt watching this game. Listen, man, there's a couple of positives that I'm going to go over later in the show, but my prevailing sentiment is just simply this. And I know that people sometimes come to the show because they just want the analysis of this game. And sometimes you and I tend to do the big picture, maybe a little bit too much, but it's hard not to be thinking that way during this current time, right?
Yes.
We had 2 weeks off where, what was it? More than that? 3 weeks?
22 days between games.
So we had 3 weeks off to kind of sit in this idea that the Leafs were going to have 6 games before the deadline. They stacked 6 out of 8 points right before that ended up happening.
Yeah.
The Boston Bruins not so far ahead of them. And you kind of started to talk yourself into like, hey, maybe this is possible, right? Like probably not, but just maybe. And it's going to be dependent on what they do in these 6 games in terms of how deep they're willing to cut the knife. Tonight to me was, I tweeted this, the perfect illustration of why you cut deep. You're not a contender. You're not trying to eke into the postseason and backdoor your way in and hope that you can get hot. And like this whole fantasy that people have been trotting out there where they're like, the Leafs haven't faced adversity all these years and now they finally do. And what if they get hot? And what if like they're not front runners going in the playoffs and they've had to fight their way in? Like, let's get over this. Like they're not beating good teams in the postseason. The idea that they would face Tampa, that Tampa team over a 7-game series, and that you would expect the Leafs get more than 1 game and not think that it's a miracle is outrageous. They're going to get browbeat by any one of these teams that's actually good. So you got to sell, man. Like this, the 5 more games, get out of here with the litigation of what they should be doing. I know that's not going to be the way that the front office sees it. I already saw the letter to the season ticket holders, but like you got to be out of your mind to be looking at this hockey team and thinking that there's something deeper there to continue to hold on to or believe that something could still turn around at this point.
I don't know. Maybe if you wait around to see how they look at morning skate tomorrow, you could delay the decision a little bit longer. maybe if they see how they eat lunch tomorrow, see if they eat lunch well, maybe you could try to convince yourself that this team could maybe contend.
Yeah, maybe
season.
if they beat the Ottawa Senators on Saturday night, like
when everybody has to give Matthews a standing ovation for winning gold for Team America, that's gonna be fun too. Two of the worst standing ovations of all time at Scotiabank Arena coming up this year. Mitch Marner and Austin
tough
Matthews.
Year for season ticket holders.
Yeah, because that's gonna happen.
You watch all this happen. You got to stand for Mitch and for an Olympic gold, and then Keith Pelly writes you a letter and says it was injuries and schedule.
Yeah, that's why they're last in everything.
Yeah,
last.
True. Yeah,
like it's this injuries. It's the schedule.
Yeah.
Most chances ever given up in the history of the league. Leafs. It's the schedule.
Gosh, golly, those darn Olympics making this team bad, buddy. I tell you what.
I think. I mean, I'm going to talk about it going forward here. It feels like they're going to have to make it a conversation. Like, this isn't how smart teams act. Like, you've already seen rumblings about the Panthers, and I grant you that the Panthers are even further back. But they're like, you're already seeing stuff about, man, potentially shutting down Kachuk and Marchand and trading away their UFAs. And it's just like, yeah, that's how smart teams act. And, there's all this talk about not trying to sell tickets and good, not great, not good. Or what was the saying that they're saying? Like, we're trying to be great, not good, or the buzzwords and all this stuff. If you're not taking this very unique opportunity that in the middle of, like, I get contention window is strong. I think it's very, very strong to say contention window, but in the middle of like in the tail end of your contention window, where you have one little opportunity here to have the whole fan base behind you to restock the cupboards and potentially bring in some bit of futures for you that you could potentially use to trade for other guys or pick them for, God forbid you pick somebody. And you don't take that opportunity, it will be one of the great, fumbles of the bag of all time in this market. Like, people will look back on this with such disdain. But I don't know, like, they're smart people, bud. They can't watch tonight, and they're just saying that for the sake of saying it. Like, they have to know.
I mean,
they have to know.
You can say that.
They're not idiots, man. They have to know.
You can say that. You can say they're not idiots. You can say they're not going to be doing that. These are the same guys that traded Fraser Minton in a first-round pick for Brandon Carlo, who looked at that guy and thought, you know what, there's tons to go there. They're the same guys that went out and got Dakota Joshua and Matthias Michelli and said, hey, these are the guys we're going to trade for this offseason because this group only needs work around the fringes. Like, the things that you can point to in terms of moves with this organization over the last couple of years, the idea that it's like you're somewhat encouraged that the group is going to be thinking about that big picture and thinking that, this is a heavily flawed team. I'm not that confident in it. I wish I had that confidence in it. I do.
But brutal. You can't watch tonight and be like, this team is not brutal.
Of course they're brutal. But that's the thing, man. No one wants to play the full blame game, and there's not enough job security up front for people to just fully say, hey, what we actually need. Like, I'll be honest. I actually think, and I'm going to do this on my show tomorrow. Like, I've got Borny off the top.
Nice.
But I'm surprised why at this point it isn't being discussed more tear down and not retool. Like, I know you're in the retool camp, and I am too, because, listen, Matthews' contract and Nylander's contract and not owning a first-round pick the following season, those three factors weigh extremely heavy when it comes to what your decision should be at this trade deadline and trying to reload for next year and take another shot at this. But if you were going to ask me, hey, what do these guys look like closer to you? A retool or a rebuild? I would be saying rebuild. This looks like closer to a rebuilding team. Look at that Tampa group just in terms of the forward line, the groups that they roll over the boards, the depth, the way that they play. They're coming off the Olympic break all the same. They had more guys on their team than the Maple Leafs did on theirs. They got a guy who's on Team USA as well.
Team Canada could have used that version of Braden Point tonight.
Sure could have. I thought about it 25 different times.
He's fantastic tonight.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Really
Him
good.
And Kucherov put the Leafs in a body bag that whole time, the whole game. Every time there's, and I think Simmer said it, he's like, they can't handle him. That line was unstoppable for the majority of the game. So yeah, continue. But an actual point from the game, I thought Point was fabulous. Unbelievable game from Point.
This is actually a great way to tie these two things in. Tampa all night just dominated the Leafs off the cycle. How many shifts did Toronto get stuck in their own end? And you see this where it's like guys reaching with the stick, desperately trying to break up a pass because they can't close it. They can't close on anybody. The team's old. The team's not very good. They don't have a lot of quality defensive players. They were scrambling all night long. And listen, one of the biggest positives from the least of this game is Anthony Stolar is a guy who, at the end of the day, could have let in 6 goals in this game.
Yeah.
That he was probably their best player.
Yeah. I mean, I thought for a lot of the game, he looked like the last year's version of Stolar's, which, I mean, if he's going to look like, trade him. Like, if somebody's going to give you something for him, he looks this good. Like, I don't know. Someone's going to give you a first-round pick for a guy that's looking this good. They need a goalie. Somebody gets desperate. That's a guy that you'd be willing to listen. Everyone's up for grabs. That's what I'm watching all these games through the lens of. But I just thought that Kucherov point combination and just point in particular made me sad because boy,
just like they can't defend, right?
No.
Like they just like those guys. You're right. They're excellent. Like Kucherov, amazing. They threw out that stat during one of the intermissions. Like he has like 45%. He's in on 45% of these teams' points this year. Braden Point is a guy that we probably didn't talk about enough when it came to losing him for Team Canada because so many people were like excited about the idea of Sam Bennett joining the team and what he had done over the last calendar year of hockey and feeling like it was justified that he was on the roster.
It wasn't him that replaced. It was Jarvis replaced him, right?
Yeah,
it was Cirelli
was him, and then that's the way it went. I'm just saying that we didn't talk about losing Point as much as I think we would have had Sam Bennett not been coming off of the year that he just had.
Totally. Like that's his game tonight. God.
Yes. So those two players are excellent. No doubt about it. They've made a lot of teams look stupid. My only point about this game with the Leafs is that it's like, they're so bad defensively, man.
Terrible.
Like if you play good players against them, they're going to do this where it's the Harlem Globetrotters all night. He's spinning the ball on his finger. That was them watching Nikita Kucherov this evening.
Yeah. I mean, him on the power play. When you look back in the history of the league, there can't be many better guys in the power play in the history of than Nikita Kucherov.
No.
The way his deception and the way that he gets guys to think he's doing one thing and then does another thing, and the chemistry that all these they're just always ready for a pass. And sometimes he's going to shoot. Like he is just devastating on the power play. I love watching him play, although I can't stand him. He's one of my least favorite guys in the league, but God, he's so good to watch in the power play. But yeah,
the one pass that he made, the spinorama reverse on the goal that was disallowed, the second one, where he ends up being offside. I was like, yeah, how many guys in the league are just like thinking that way constantly?
Right. But I mean, so you mentioned their depth and I look at their decor, right?
Yeah.
Like this is what their organization has been able to do that the Leafs haven't. Like the Leafs have spent draft picks trying to create guys and, like just trade for Carlos of the world. The Morgan Riley's been in the lineup forever. They traded draft picks to get Jake McCabe. They I don't know, they just signed Benoit, but he's just off the scrap heap, claiming Troy Stecher off waivers. Look at these guys that are in their decor, man. Like it's a development masterclass. It's JJ Moser. It's that Destois or whatever the hell his name is. They said he was in the ECHL and now he's playing big minutes for them. It's that Darren Radish who's on an $875,000 contract who is in the AHL. They've just developed these guys that have come in and contributed, and the Leafs have not been able to do that. They spend draft picks, or maybe they're not willing to. Like, I don't know, the race car driver, everybody's calling for him to come up. Villeneuve, I don't know. Maybe he can be like that. I have no idea. But like, it's time to find out. It's time to trade some of your guys that play regularly and maybe see if any of these guys can come up and contribute. But they just develop guys so well. And that's the huge difference between the Leafs and Bulls. Look where they're at versus where the Leafs are. They've been competitive the entire time the Leafs have been competitive, and they're about to be just as competitive for way after the Leafs are.
I was thinking about that tonight too, how it was like in 24, I think it was, when they finished in the wild card. And granted, they still won I think they won like 45 games that year. But it kind of felt like, Tampa's competitive window might be closing here. They might have some.
We have those real combos. Totally.
Yeah, like, hey, are they going to get in? I remember having different guys from their market on to discuss it with me on the show, and I was trying to do like the Skip Bayless thing of like what they would always do with Tom Brady, where it's like every year with Tom Brady, like Tom Brady's dead, it's over, and then he would go out and be good. And I kept trying to do that with Tampa Bay. But you remember there was all those stats. It's like, hey, this is one of the slowest teams. They just don't get the same transition opportunities. Like they're just not the same guys. And I went, yeah, right, the window's probably closed. They completely reopened it, and now they've got the secondary run. Granted, the difference with them and the Leafs in terms of like this parallel is, as I mentioned, they still were they weren't even the last seed in the postseason last year. Like they were the first wild card team.
Yeah.
They still did win 45 games.
Mm-hmm.
They never looked this bad.
Nope.
They obviously had an infrastructure with like a head coach you trusted, a GM you trusted, like
two of the best in the league. One of the best general managers in the league, one of the best coaches in the league.
Right. So this isn't a perfect parallel, but if you are on team retool, this is kind of what you're hoping for with the Toronto Maple Leafs, is like with the right creative moves that you can pivot and you can become what the Tampa Bay Lightning are, which is you get like a second life of being a contender a year later.
They have to find a way to get faster and younger in the offseason.
Which to me is why the thing I was saying about rebuild versus retool is so jarring to me. I'm like, I don't know how you do that in one off season.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow for sure. It's a tough pill to swallow. So anything from this game that you want to talk? You want to talk about the captain?
I mean, sure, if you got thoughts on him. I just thought he was largely irrelevant in the game, but I don't really like, this is one where I don't really blame him because like he was going to celebrate. The guy's the captain of the US Olympic team.
Yeah.
And he loves to party. So he finally won something and he loves to party. He was going to party. So the idea that he was going to come out hungover was not like, oh my God, what a shocker.
I will say, like, when the news was first breaking that he was going to the White House and, I was pissed off about them winning and whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, he's got to play tonight. He's got to play. And then I heard him at practice this morning. I'm like, God damn, he shouldn't play. Like, he should, like, I don't know if anyone's listening to this that listened to his pregame availability at the morning skate or whatever today. I've never heard anyone sound more exhausted. Like, it just sounded like me coming off Keegan's 4-day bachelor party trip, going to work the next day, being like, he had nothing. He had nothing to give.
I texted you when I saw his face during like at the end of warmups when there was the anthems.
Yeah.
And the camera caught him for a second and the lights got bright in the arena and he did the full eye squint and looked so uncomfortable. And I went, I've been there, man. I've never had to go skate on an NHL ice, but I've seen that face because I've had that face. You remember that Jays game I showed up to meet you with this year?
Oh, yeah, this year against the A's.
Yeah.
You saw that Canadian kid hit his first bomb at that game.
Or I limped in the hat and the sunglasses and I sat in the outfield. I was in a grim state of affairs. That was Austin Matthews.
That was actually a wild game.
Yeah,
it was a wild game. Hoffman tried to serve it up in that game.
I had 2 cut waters and I woke back up by like the 6th inning. But those first 5 innings, I was struggling, man. That was a really tough time for me. Yeah. The other thing I really have from this game is
what? Sorry. Can we just finish
you want to go
on
Matthews? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I just I'm sure there's people that are pissed about how he looked tonight, and but I just can't get better into shape. The Leafs are awful. He just had the greatest moment of his sporting career. He partied.
Tonight, actually,
everyone stunk.
This is a perfect opportunity for me to give you the take that I gave Ennis today.
Okay.
I really believe it. And I'm actually curious what the chat thinks about this. Although this is not the right chat to be doing this with because it's angry chat. So they're going to say they all disagree because they're going to be pissed off watching this thing. My theory to Ennis, and this was anecdotal in terms of the last 24 to 48 hours, is that because of the Marner situation where like the team is bad and Marner left and everybody's blaming Leaf fans for chasing Marner out of town. Yeah. Marner goes to the Olympics. He scores that goal against the Czechs in OT. And once again, the whole world gets to be like, Leaf fans are idiots, even though nobody with a brain is like was making that moment about Mitch or Toronto. No. They're just happy about Canada. Yeah. And then Matthews wins the gold medal and they're doing the same thing where it's like, hey, he's a winner. Maybe it's a Toronto thing or blah, blah, blah. Right. I actually think the fans the rest of the season are going to be kind of taking it easier on Matthews. Like no matter what he does, people are going to be kind of like, no, you're good, Matthews, because they're a little reluctant to be hot takey with the guy or really critical of the guy when he's going to be entering his walk year next year. And we're going to have to redo this entire conversation and they don't want the blame.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people in this city that would drive him to the airport.
I do too, but I'm just saying like the overall like online Twitter discourse thing, I think is going to be a little tamer with Matthews than it was like.
I do think there's a section of Leafs Nation that'll definitely protect him a bit.
Yeah.
That are pushing back against the Trump stuff. And like, I've seen it a little bit on X or whatever. And, there's people in my life
being happy for him winning a gold in the moment.
And I got to tell you, man, like I am a little bit happy for him. There's a part of me that's a little bit happy for him that got because he's certainly not going to win with the Leafs. And he's a big part of that. He's a big part of that. So I can't fault him too much, but there was a little part of me seeing him smile that it was like, I guess good for him. Good for him.
Good for you that you felt that way. I think you're a better person than I am.
Listen, I've been through a lot of ups and downs with this guy, buddy.
Yeah.
Been through a lot together. And to see him smile like that, I was like, you know what? Good for him.
Yeah. All right. My actual take from this game, other than Tampa, I just thought, Tampa was in a completely different class, and I got a couple little micro notes, but my bigger one is actually, we really blew it with offside reviews. And I know people are going to disagree because it actually worked for the Leafs tonight, but I've been waiting to talk about this, and it's way better to do it when it happens against your team than the other way around. Cause you sound like such an idiot homer if that was the Leafs, right? And they got a goal called off and then you're like, they got to get rid of this. But this has long bothered me, man. I don't know why the NHL can't adjust this rule to be like, hey, if the goal is scored off the rush or that there's a timer, right? Like if the goal happens within 15 seconds of an offside that was that close, that we can't review it. Because to me, it's like the Kucherov one, especially, where like his skate is a millimeter offside. Even the first one, Hagel, I think it was offside, right? The first one? Whatever.
Yes.
Who cares?
Yes, it was Hagel.
Hagel's like barely offside, and neither of these goals, like the play was a result of an offside, right? Like neither of them. And I don't know. It just feels so against the spirit of hockey. Like the linesman's right there. They brought in the rule because Matt Duchene was so offside that they missed like an egregious thing. And it reminds me a little bit of in the NFL when they brought in the pass interference challenge. And why did they do that? They brought that challenge in because it was an NFC championship game, right? Where a Saints player,
not Jared Goff. It was that game though, right?
They were, Rams. Right. It was Rams versus Saints. Yeah. And the Saints player got his clock cleaned on a clear defensive pass interference. Refs don't throw the flag. Next year they try to bring it in, and it doesn't really work out. And you know me, I'm a spirit of the game guy. Like I just spirit of the rules, spirit of the game. And when Kucherov scored that one in particular, or sets that one up, I view it as like he scored it because he makes the spinning pass. It ends up on, I think it's Gensel's stick who throws in a slot for Braden Point to score one. I was like, this is just a dirty rule that we can go back a minute and call something that's like a hair offside and offside. Like, look at this thing, man. Come on. Like, you like that?
Here's what I'll say. I think
you like that.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it by now. I don't like it.
But that's what I'm saying. So what? You're used to it. They can go back. Like they don't have pass interference rules.
You can't go back.
Why can't
you
never
go back? Because then the first one in a big game where they check it and the team's going to complain, be like, why did we go back on this? They can't go back. They'll never go back.
Go back is just adjust the rule where it's like, hey, you gotta do this. It's got to be 15 seconds or 20 seconds after the goal.
I'll hear that. Here's what I'll ask you: how many entries a game are there in a hockey game?
Of course.
And how many times do the linesmen absolutely nail it 10 times out of 10?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like they do such a fabulous job, fantastic job of entries. It's always really good. And it's one time a game where they have to sit there and they review it and they just have to go upstairs. I agree. It's stupid. And when it takes a long time, it pisses me off even more.
I know.
Both of these tonight were pretty expedited, so it got them done pretty quick. But
the first one was easy. The second one, I was like, I honestly, like,
they'll just never change it for me. So there's no reason to ever complain about it because they'll never change it.
I think they should. No,
sure.
I disagree about never complaining because they'll never.
Well, great.
Change
I mean,
it.
you got your wish.
Rule.
You and Ben got your wish about the ABS. So we're gonna have to sit there watching guys bang on their helmets after every strike call. So
well, first of all, you only get 2 challenges a game, so every strike call is a little wild. So you get 2.
God,
that's actually the
bring
other
in the computers. It's like, oh God.
I don't like how it's just unlimited in the NHL too. Like the stakes of you get a power play against you versus just unlimited is just. I just think they can adjust it, man. Like they should look at it and adjust it.
30 seconds. I like within 30 seconds of the goal entering the net.
Yeah, just like did it have an impact on the play?
No,
like just those ones didn't. Anyway,
I have a thought from the game.
Yeah, go ahead. I got 2 more.
Amazing missed empty net by Jake.
Yes, that's in my rapid fire.
Oh my God. Amazing. And the fact that Tavares goes down and scores on the next like 5-10 seconds after that.
I was gonna say, if you could freeze time after he's on the ice and Leafs are breaking out the other way.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could have live bet Leafs goal, because usually they freeze in that spot, like, or you would never be able to catch it in time. You're already delayed,
Yeah.
like from the gambling. So no one would have been able to bet that. But if you could have just live bet it being like, will the Leafs score now after this guy fell down and hit a post on an empty net, you would have been a fool not to place a wager on yes.
This was eerily similar the fall to Patrick Steffen.
Or Patrick Steffen, sorry.
Where like he tried to, and one of the greatest calls of all time, Peter Lubardius, tried to end it, and he blew it.
He blew it. Yeah.
One of the greatest all-time calls.
And he blew it. That's so good. Man, look, you know what I gotta say though? I like how Gensel was so mad about it.
So mad, just so pissed off.
Yeah.
This guy is just coming off the highest moment of his career. Sick if you had a Gensel anytime goal tonight. Pray for that
you
guy.
Had under 5.5 in this game too.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Couple horrible beats, but that's an amazing. He was just paying tribute to his good friend Nathan McKinnon by missing that wide open net there. But yeah, man, I can't believe you missed. That's just hilarious. You never see a guy do that. And then Tavares in the sweet spot just gets to shoot a long wrister. I mean, that's almost like James Johnson shooting a corner three. You want that one to miss because next game, 4 of those are going towards the net, right into the goalie's chest. He scores from there. It's his favorite spot.
That was a nice goal, though, man.
He snaps it.
A really pretty goal.
Vintage Tavares ripper right there. Vintage.
Beautiful goal. And then, of course, right after, again, the bigger takeaway is just like,
bang.
Tampa's like, hey, you were going to play again? All right. Score. It's like, what? There were 3 goals in 53 seconds, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, just point getting this from Kucherov, like right after the Leafs got a little bit of momentum and you're trying to talk yourself into like, all right, maybe this can be a little bit of a wild finish. Maybe the Gensel thing is something we're going to point to. And it was like, nah.
Morgan Rielly loses the best player on the ice all night, right in between the hash marks, bar down. Good night. Look at it. Like, here we go. I'm probably just going to let him walk right down the slot. Yeah, Morgan Rielly in his signature position.
No, his signature position is right after that, which is when he's holding his stick and he's just staring up at the sky.
He's got to be so sick of watching pucks enter the net, man.
God, so many.
It's every night.
Other tiny things from this game for me.
Okay.
I don't know what Nyes. I guess his ice time got really boosted because of the extended empty nets.
I mean, he only got to 1750.
Yeah. So I was curious about this because it was like they weren't really using him. So I went, is he still hurt? But when I was watching him, I thought his short bursts, I'd actually like to see like the sports logics on him short burst speed and whether it's improved because eye test wise, he just looked healthier to me.
Yeah. Moving better.
Yeah.
Moving his hips better. Just kind of skating around, looking like himself. I tried to go through the legs, but from behind the net, shot it off his own leg. But yeah, he just kind of looked a little bit more like himself, but they didn't play him much. I don't know what point I texted you that Michelli and Robertson had played a minute more than him in the game, which is extremely rare. So I don't know if the coaching staff was just kind of like, oh yeah, he did score a goal.
Yeah.
That looks like me on Bedini Thursday mornings. Yeah. That's how I score all my goals on it. But I don't know. Maybe they're like trying to spread out the love. They're like, yeah, we got to get everybody involved because it's, back to back and we're trying to win all these games. So we got to get everybody involved. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's okay. Looked all right.
He was fine.
Looked more healthy.
The other thing from this game, and again, you throw it out a little bit because it's Matthews' hangover game. He's back from the Olympics. It's Tampa Bay, whatever. It always astounds me how little chemistry Matthews and Nylander have when they put them together.
They've only had it one time, rookie year. Yeah. Rookie year when Nylander was wearing number 29. And you think about that entry they used to do, the give and go into the zone, scored Matthews' 4th goal off of it. They did it the whole time in his rookie year for Matthews. And they kind of stopped playing together after that. And it's just neither of them are passers. Like I know William Nylander has good assist numbers and but he's just not a natural passer. He's just not.
So
that's why Domi plays there.
Yeah, the analytics guys would point to them together and be like, look, they actually have a great expected goals for. It's like, yeah, they're 2 unbelievable players who make big time money. But the eye test when you watch them play is never like, oh boy, look at them go together. Like they found it for 2 guys that have played that long who are as skilled as the 2 of them are. It's just I thought about it again tonight watching them. And again, the circumstances matter, but I've never felt like, oh man, I really wish they would put these 2 guys together more because it's so exciting when they do.
Last thing, 30 minutes. All of Rekman Larson was good tonight, man. He's a good player, and I'm not sure he's ever going to be this good again in his career. You have to trade him. Have to trade him.
I've been saying it for 2 months now that it's the most important trade that the Leafs are going to make at the deadline.
Like, you telling me Dallas Stars aren't going to give you a first round pick and something for this guy? Yeah. Telling me like he's such a Dallas Star to me. Like he's just I don't know. Edmonton probably doesn't have enough to give you, but you have to strike while the iron's hot. He's probably never going to look this good.
No, and it's just like you're not gonna. He's old.
He might have been their best player tonight. Honestly.
He was really good. There's the one like stick pinch that he tries to make on the Kucherov goal where he gets burned. And
no, it was not. It was the Gonzalez or whatever. And he just beats him up for scoring.
Yes. Like, Oh, and then after the play, yes,
beats him up for scoring.
He loses him on that play. And like, he makes a little play trying to get the puck off of his stick before he makes the pass over to Kucherov. But takes a penalty and the Leafs killed that one. So good for them doing that. Yeah. All right. If last thing for me is just if we're doing stock up, stock down in terms of guys you just want to trade at the deadline, I don't even think you can get like a 7th round pick for Simon Benoit at this point. Like it's it's like I'm being a little.
What happened to him?
I don't know, man. But it's like he takes 2 bad penalties in this game, and he's just barbecue chicken all night long. It's painful. Like,
he was so good last year.
Yeah, all his confidence just got sapped. The physicality is gone. Yeah. It's really weird how. Like this isn't a guy he wasn't Chris Pronger.
No,
but he had a really good year. He built a lot of momentum and he felt like he was going to be a guy on this blue line for a bit, like a fan favorite type.
Scored an overtime winner against the Sens.
Yeah. Like, and then just tonight I'm watching him and this is me every shift. Yeah. Luke says cautionary tale for Stetcher extension. I disagree. Luke.
You got to trade Stetcher too.
No, here's the thing. I've already made my position clear. I would be going to Stetcher and Lawton and offering them sweetheart deals, like as in for the Leafs.
Yeah.
And saying take it or leave it. You get some security and whatever. And if they don't do it, then you trade both of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, subscribe to this podcast.
Exact same show tomorrow.
Yeah. Except for less trade talk. Just probably a little bit more of the game. We had been off for a while. And that one was an absolute pump. But watch, they're going to beat the Panthers tomorrow. Like,
buy back on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to beat this crap Panthers team that's desperately trying to tank and has nobody on their roster. Yeah. Matthew's going to score a couple goals. Nylander scored.
Matthew Tkachuk was at the elbow room today with the gold medal on getting blasted. He's not playing tomorrow night.
No, it's just like they'll get tomorrow. It's like, there's an exciting night. Anyway, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sam McKee, and we'll see you tomorrow.